On the Ukrainian side, if we can pick it up. But right now, Brian Quinn and Dominic Kinnear over the ball. Second half is underway here at Ratgers. On the block from Sherbakov. Sneaking behind the defense, but there to make the play is Meola. Well, that could have been dangerous. Well, they've taken out Hudimenko, number 9, and have brought in Drahunov. Erhan Drahunov replaces Hudimenko. I wonder if the heat's a factor. They're just giving Drahunov some opportunity to play.
Hudimenko did have a brace, I believe, on his right knee, some type of support there. Perhaps he was not 100% fit to start with.
Chung on that pass, broken up by Sherbakov. Played back. All the way to the left side for Moritz. And actually, it looks like Drahunov is dropped way back, replacing Hudimenko, who was a striker. Ball played up, and it is deflected out of play. A corner kick coming up. So the Ukraine with a chance here.
Well, the Ukraine team could be going into even a more defensive posture, leaving up front alone Hetsko. If they've taken off Hudimenko and replaced him with a defender.
On the corner kick, far post, Meola had to go back. That was a little awkward situation. Meola came out a bit, and then he had to backpedal, and lots of times you get burnt when that happens.
Decisions for goalkeepers are more critical than in any other position. There's no one behind you.
Meola, this is his 5th consecutive start in goal for the U.S. national team. He has won the 4 games that the U.S. has won this year. The U.S. comes into this game with a 4-8-2 mark in 1992. John Doyle. Up for number 9, Mark Chung. Chung will bring it back. Now to Clavijo. That one's a wild one. He wanted Armstrong. He's going to get Hetsko instead. Hetsko, number 10. Working the left side of the field. Armstrong stays with him, detains him until help arrives from Kinnear. Good effort by Armstrong, and then Kinnear with the support on defense. Quinn to Chung. Opening it up for Michallik on the lead pass. Michallik will get there. Far post shot. Way wide to the left side of Pamazoon. But a great effort by the U.S. on the pass to number 2, Winalda. Eric Winalda coming back. Second leading scorer in U.S. history with 11 goals. Chung was in the open. Here's Winalda pushing it to Chung, who held up, not wanting to go offside, not reading Winalda well. Which is understandable. They've not played well together, or long together.
Some miscoordination there, really, in the attack. You're under some pressure. Had Winalda looked real early, he would have had Chung open. And he looks up there. Now, Chung makes his run about now, but now Winalda has to deal with his defender. And now Chung is withdrawing as Winalda finally does look for him and had gotten himself into a less deep position and wasn't there to connect with that pass. So if they play together a bit longer, they may be able to coordinate those things and get a good strike on goal.
Kovalec trying to win that ball. Instead, it's Bondarenko, number 4, on the double team. Quinn taken down, a professional foul by Bondarenko.
It's a little tug on the shorts.
Enough to slow down Brian Quinn. There's Bondarenko, number 4, on defense for the Ukraine. All of these players, by the way, for the Ukrainian national team represent first division players. Here's Quinn. Looking long for Murray, and too long. Got to think of it, a lot of these long passes for players to look over their shoulder into the sun is going to be tough.
This Ukraine team has most likely not played a great deal together either. They've only played 2 games ever, this being the second one. They did spend the last several weeks training as a team at the training ground of Dynamo Kiev, but that's not the same thing as playing a lot of games together. But, they look to be quite organized.
Far side of the field, it's played up to Nikiforov, and back it goes to Moritz, who plays for Kiev and also on the Olympic team, or the previous Soviet Union Olympic team. Right side of the field, they'll try Tritiak. Number 3, the 29-year-old who plays for Odessa, club champions. Tritiak finding a man open. Nikiforov played it into space, but Doyle is there to knock it away. But a good combination by the Ukraine. Even though they've made a move which appear to be for defensive reasons, they're doing well coming forward.
Pushing more players forward, even defenders getting into the attack, as we saw Nikiforov and Tritiak being involved in.
Quinn outside to Kinnear. Intercepted. Simbala, number 7. Ouch. That was Nikiforov in there, and then Sherbakov and a handball.
Here's a chance, Tretiak putting it through to Nikiforov, his other central defender. So an unorthodox attack, to say the least, but it was one of the better ones we've seen by the Ukraine team.
In the 7th minute of play here in the second half with Ty Keogh, I'm John Paul Dellacamera. This World Series of Soccer match is scoreless. Here's the U.S. on the attack. Armstrong pushing forward, still in possession. Outside Michallik, who's done well on the crosses today. That time his cross was blocked by Prokipko. Throw in coming up. And Michallik is, well, I thought he was going to leave it for Armstrong. Instead, he'll throw in to Brian Quinn outside the area. About 22 yards away. In the back heel, it's Armstrong. Looking for Kinnear, and it went wide of Dominic Kinnear. And Pamazur will have a goal kick coming up. Desmond Armstrong plays well and also draws well. He's an artist, draws sketches of his teammates from photos, and you and I have seen some of his work. It's unbelievable. Very gifted.
Some of them maybe not so flattering, depending on how good a ball the guy plays to him.
You're talking about the pictures, aren't you?
Yes.
The Ukraine in possession. Tretiak. Winalda up top on defense. We've seen the U.S. in other games play with one striker up top. They may be going more to that here in the second half, but in the first half it was Vermes and Winalda. And on the Ukraine attack, Moratz had it knocked away by John Doyle.
Although Winalda did come back into midfield quite a lot to help create attacks, leaving Vermes up top alone at times, but he was more of a double front-running system.
Simbalar tried to cross it, it was blocked. Murray. And now it's Quinn. Winalda, number 11 in white. Stepping in the way, Nikiforov tripped up outside of the area. And now the whistle sounds, but they're going to call it on the Ukraine. Okay, Nikiforov looks dangerous. And he's looking more dangerous as this game gets longer.
He likes to barge straight through. Not a terribly subtle player, but not a bad touch on the ball either for a big man. And there's the foul called against him. He obstructed, got the arm and the elbow out when he was not within playing distance of the ball.
Here comes Brian Quinn over midfield. Wants everyone to go forward. He wants Michallik running to the far post or near post. Clavijo now on the outside. A bender, far side, outside of the area. Controlled. Kinnear brings it into the area. The shot, but it's right at Pamazur, but great footwork from Dominic Kinnear, number 8.
Some good deception there by Kinnear in faking the shot, getting defenders to move out in front of him. We'll see it here. The ball played in to Kinnear, and look at the fake there. He fakes one shot, now he's going to fake again and step inside, and he goes with the toe poke rather than a full windup that may be blocked or that the goalkeeper can read. He just tried to get a quick toe shot on it, trying to sneak it past.
The U.S. doing better, Ty, than they were 2 weeks ago in their decision-making. They were unhappy with their decisions from midfield to about the 18-yard box area, and they seem to be doing better in that regard, even though they haven't scored here. Ball is played outside to Tretiak. Wide right it goes. Prokipko. Chung trying to break it up. Tretiak holding the jersey, but it's allowed to continue. Prokipko plays it back. The Ukraine will swing it wide left this time and see what's available on that side of the field. Nikiforov, who's advancing much farther now here in the second half of play than he was in the first half, and has proven to be a pretty good weapon offensively. Back to Drahunov on the right side of Tretiak. Ukraine holding it now back outside to Tretiak. A lot more ball movement, ball possession by the Ukraine here in the second half of play. Are they getting tired, Ty, and doing this for tactical reasons?
I think one of the things that we're seeing in terms of what you mentioned before, perhaps a better U.S. team performance than in their last game against Australia, is that it's become really a keener issue, competition for positions, because of players that are not here, and when so-and-so comes back, when a Harks comes back, a Dooley, a Wegerle, who has to sit. So I think we've seen that in terms of the determination of some of the players.
There's Prokopenko, who is the Ukraine coach who just disappeared from our camera. Don't be shy, Victor. Head coach of the Ukraine national team, Victor Prokopenko, who guided Odessa to the Cup championship. Checking to see if the offside tap was on.
That's like an X-ray.
Kovalec, far post, Meola's out, he missed. May have lost that one in the sun, going right out after it. Armstrong in there to try to work it. Apparently it stayed in play. Now Balboa leaves it for Meola.
But the U.S. team in general playing a lot of possession ball. We see this ball here swerving, and Meola goes out for it, comes up with nothing, and Armstrong is then off to chase it. It ended up being a goal kick for the U.S. team, and they got off a little bit lucky. Anytime you see the keeper drawn out like that, it could be dangerous. But the U.S. team, yes, using a great deal of possession, working the ball up the field, possession again, and then looking for the opportunity. And it's a different sort of a philosophy of play. In fact, it keeps a lot of players in behind the ball rather than sending players into deep positions.
Here's Wijnaldum. Oh, he almost put it through to Chung, who looked like he would have been onside. Played back to the goalkeeper, Pamazun. And now over to the left side, and the Ukraine will start slowly.
But keeping a lot of players behind the ball when you're in possession is also a form of defense. Because should you lose possession, you have a lot of guys goal side to protect your goal. So it's a different approach, but it also still can be a very conservative approach, even though you're keeping more possession rather than going direct.
Kinnear outside to Michallik, number 2.
Jerry.
Janusz Michallik right back to Brian Quinn on a nice cut. Quinn in the area, but it's cleared out. Clavijo, nice job off the right foot. Side of the right foot to Armstrong. Blackhawks, but more importantly, he's the first American to score a goal at Wembley Stadium in the 1992 FA Trophy Cup match while playing with Colchester. That would be a great trivia question somewhere down the road. Masters is in. Wijnaldum is out. A great effort by Eric Wijnaldum. The work rate today was tremendous. A lot of running, especially in this heat. This was his return to the U.S. national team.
But perhaps a different approach in attack now by the U.S. team with Masters up front. A tall target player who is very good in the air.
That's the second substitution out of the 5 you're allowed in these matches that the U.S. has taken advantage of. And another player going down. That is Kovalec, fouled by Masters. He's got great size, as we told you, at 6'3", 205. Second all-time leading scorer in the APSL to Gene Harbour.
A dominating player in the air.
Nikiforov, look at the crowd he's drawing. Right side, Prokiko. And it's headed away by Doyle, who wanted a foul. Looked like Hetzko. You can hear someone say he's grabbing him.
He was draped all over him. Nice ball served in here. It drops in low. And now the ball laid sideways for the first time serve. Now there's coming in Doyle at the last second, and he was clipped from behind.
Sherbakov on the corner. A dangerous one right back, and Meola read it well, so as not to allow a corner kick if that ball gets by him. Last touch by one of his own. The crowd waiting for something to really get excited about, even though it's been a well-played 0-0 game. We've seen some good opportunities. They'd love to see a goal.
It's not a game where the ball has been bogged down at midfield for large periods of time. There's normally, after the possession time, a type of probing offense. Some type of crack appears, and they are able to strike a goal.
Far more entertaining game than 2 weeks ago when the U.S. lost to Australia 1-0. Still scoreless, right side. Murray looking for Masters. He's up there with a header. It comes out Michallik on a missed kick. It's loose. Here's a turnaround for Kinnear, far post, and he shot it wide. I'm not sure from this angle is he shooting or if he thought someone may have been at the far post.
Definitely, he was shooting. He took a quick look to see if maybe he could set up Masters. He wasn't able to see that. Instead, tried to do it on his own. And there's some miscommunication in the Ukraine defense. And on the turn there is Kinnear. But Masters was there. You'll see it from this angle here. Kinnear does a great job of winning it. He's got Masters right out in front, who had a better angle to shoot.
Okay, in the wake of Ramos not playing and Perez, I think Kinnear has done very well today in the midfield for the U.S. He's really responded. Number 8 plays for San Francisco in the APSL. Has 2 goals in 92 with this U.S. squad. Or 2 goals, I should say, career-wise, not just in 92. Balboa chasing it with Sherbakov, and it goes out of play. Under 28 minutes remaining here in the second half of play. Scoreless game as we look at Balboa, who's hardly had any time off besides playing as many games with the U.S. squad. He plays for Colorado in the APSL. So when everybody else gets a break, he's still playing games. Throw in coming up for the Ukraine to Sherbakov, number 11. Sherbakov's attempted cross is broken up. The Ukraine keeping it alive. Morons, tough collision with Murray. U.S. winning it. Kinnear. Quinn. Great job to still control it. Brian Quinn. A great battle and he won it to Clavijo. A lot of room for probably the fastest man on the field, despite being the oldest. Here's Clavijo. Tripped up. Oh, finally. That was a late whistle, or I never heard it. And you can't touch a referee in any country, fellas. We have an injured player. I think it's Morats, and it is, who's down in the field the other way. I guess he's still down after that to watch while we were away in commercial break. Murray really tagged him with a pretty good elbow. So it didn't appear that Morats was play acting by what we saw. There's a three-man wall being set up by the Ukrainians. Again, remember how dangerous Murray can be from this distance. Balboa also a threat.
Also, Pomazun is looking more or less into that sun.
About 30 yards out, right to Murray, right footer. It's bending far side and wide of the goalkeeper, Pomazun. But we've seen Murray score goals from that far out with a little help that time from Balboa. Good to see Murray, though, still in there because that means he's getting back. Missed about 9 weeks with a hamstring problem and has only played in first halves of recent games.
This is a convincing shot in terms of power and in terms of the elevation of it, because he did keep it down. Just a bit wide. But if he can get a little bit closer in range, those will cause big problems for the Ukraine goalkeeper, Pomazun.
Murray had 7 goals in 24 games in 91, looking for his first goal in 92, but he's only played in 6 games and averaging about 60 minutes a game with 360 total minutes coming into this.
Murray scored a fantastic goal from a similar position against Mexico in the North American Cup about a year or so ago. He nearly broke the net with it from that far out.
Kinnear looking to get that pass. He goes to the turf, and all the way back it comes to Pomazun. A reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the Authority of Soccer USA Partners and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, and or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Soccer USA Partners is prohibited. With Ty Keogh, I'm John Paul Della Camera. It's still 0-0 with 23:20 to go here in the second half. And you're watching the World Series of Soccer here on Sports Channel America. The national teams of the USA and the Ukraine. Hetzko looking to get by Doyle. Couldn't do it, but they're going to call Doyle on the foul. That's going to be a great physical matchup today for Hetzko against Doyle, who gets better and better on this U.S. squad. Emerging, really, I think, is one of the leaders back there in terms of his inspirational play.
An intelligent defender. You have to make good decisions. Back him up with strong
two-man wall. On the shot, too high, beyond Meola. They used the two-man wall that time with Chung and Kinnear. And it looked like Nikiforov again, who was taking that shot. There's the wall.
And there's the bend on the ball, and Meola, good look at the bend of the ball, actually. You don't see Meola's position, but he had it covered.
You see the rotation of that ball, too, spinning as it came toward you on Nikiforov's effort. Played mostly at the back and really as almost a stay-at-home defender in the first half. He came forward infrequently, but he's starting to go forward frequently now in the second half. This is number 4, Murray. Poking it to Mike Masters. Masters on the cross, but it was blocked out. I thought, yeah.
Double block and came back off of it.
So it's a goal kick. Pomazun, the Olympic team goalkeeper, will have the goal kick coming up.
As we get past the three-quarter mark in this game, fitness factors, endurance factors come into play. And the Ukraine teams, Dynamo Kiev, as an example, always been known for a high level of fitness. Lobanovsky, the great coach, who also coached the Soviet national team at some time, computerized training systems. These guys are in shape.
Here's Murray. May get his own pass. On the block, Michallik, and now Clavijo. Fernando Clavijo holding it. Right back to Quinn. knew what he wanted to do. He had Armstrong wide open, but he couldn't make the play. Here's Quinn. We'll try a different approach. On the outside cut, off a deflection. You can see from up here what Quinn was trying to do both times. That time it was just blocked away. On the right side, Sherbakov. A left footer. Great pass to Hetsko. That's tough to do off your left foot on the opposite wing. Hetsko broken up by Doyle, who strips him of the ball and takes it back.
Doyle really coming to the rescue. Armstrong had slipped, may have recovered, may not have, but Doyle, reading the situation, came across, and you need defenders helping each other out like that.
Murray to Michallik. In a space to Chung. Tretiak is there. Chung will win it. Knocked out. Who touched it last? They're going to give it to Chung. And the U.S. national team, the shots on goal show the U.S. 6-1. And they had an edge of 13-4, as I recall, in that first half of play. So the shots are lopsided, U.S. favor. Here's Michallik's bender. Missing one target. Quinn in the area. On the left to the far post for Masters. It's loose. Hamazoon took a kick in the face. And a foul, a dangerous play it should be, on Kinnear. Hamazoon may have to see a dentist before this is over.
The U.S. team is dominating so much and having chances, but perhaps a little more patience in some of these attacking situations would pay off, because this ball here, they're trying to find Masters at the far post. He wasn't quite there yet. Also, Bruce Murray had taken up a very good position near the top of the box, and Quinn rushed that serve into the back post. Just before, this is Doyle. Watch Doyle react here as he sees Armstrong set up with Sherbakov, and Doyle slides all the way over to fill in and make the big defensive play. He recognized the situation early, anticipated it, and came to the rescue, really, of Desmond Armstrong.
John Doyle, number 3 for the United States national team, back in the lineup after missing the last game due to a commitment with his club team, San Francisco. Right side, Nikiforov stripped by Clavijo. Fernando Clavijo, number 21 for the U.S., holding it. On the double team, he'll get free to the right side. He can turn it up another gear.
Good work to get out of the pressure situation.
All the way back to Hamazoon. 19 minutes to go. As impressed as I am, Ty, with the U.S. playing far better than 2 weeks ago, this Ukraine squad has impressed me as well. Coming in on Friday, doing a lot of nice things out there on the field.
They're not easily rattled, despite the fact that they've been dominated in a lot of areas of the game. They could still win this game. That's the way they figure it. They're not going to worry about who has the most shots. And that is a seasoned team, a team that's been around high-level soccer. And whether or not the U.S. can even find a way to really get that winner, I don't know. These are experienced players.
Nikiforov is looking. Seemed like they were much more on the offensive attack in the first half of play, and maybe sensing the chance to play for that 0-0 tie, or as you said, sneak a goal. But I'm wondering how much the heat may be bothering some of these players today. 80 degrees at the start.
They're a long way from home.
Yeah. But very glad to be here. Here's Murray. Now to Brian Quinn. Well, the shade will cool off the players for a little bit. It's been sunny all afternoon after rain hit here about an hour or so before kickoff. Brian Quinn. Oh, Nikiforov went right through, and then Armstrong obstructed him. Great effort by Nikiforov. There's Prokopenko on the Ukraine bench. They're going to bring it back, says Caulfield, the referee. Pohitko. On the left side, Morons. Well, the closer this game gets toward the final clock, as the seconds keep ticking down, the more you know that the Ukraine would be content to play for that 0-0 tie on the road. Be a feather in their caps, I'm sure.
It doesn't look bad when you recognize that Italy came all the way over to the United States in Chicago and had to settle for a 1-1 tie against this U.S. team.
Well, the U.S. would be
not
unlucky.
quite this U.S. team.
Yeah.
A few players different, obviously.
The U.S. would be unlucky. I think even a draw here with the lopsided edge that they've had in the overall play, but still, the Ukraine has done well when they've had to. The poise that they've shown. There's Boromir Yutinovic shouting out instructions from the U.S. bench. He has worked miracles with other nations and trying to do another one with the U.S. squad. He coached Mexico in the '86 World Cup, and Costa Rica was an even bigger surprise, although they didn't get as far as Mexico in '90. Porkitko. Chung. Nice move to Michallik. In a space. Masters. Knocking it back now to Clavijo. All the way back to Meola. Not much more Clavijo could do with that one with Hetsko right on him. About 16 minutes to play. Unofficial time, Chung. U.S. breaking. Right side, Kinnear. Murray also on the attack, trying to stay onside. Back to Desmond Armstrong.
With Masters up top for the U.S. team, it may be the time to start sending in some balls deep into the box.
Quinn to Clavijo. From the left corner, on the cross. Headed down, it's loose. Morons steering it away from the penalty area. Simbalar. And there's Brian Quinn. Quinn holding it. Everyone drifting back. A defensive posture all the way for this Ukraine squad. Only Hetsko is up near midfield. Murray broken up. Coming right back. Not many going forward right now for the Ukrainians. Trying to maybe save some of that energy with about 15 left. Balboa, because that would have been a good chance to counter. Looked like they could have had numbers going.
In the first half, you'd have seen at least 3 or 4 take off and really go for the throat. That time, they were lucky to have 2 participating in the counter.
Wait, you gotta wait until
Balboa was broken up, and it's played back to Pamazoon by Kovalich. No reason to hurry for the Ukraine squad, and we have Rebro getting ready to come in. Rebro is getting ready to come into the lineup. And it appears as if he would replace Kovalich. But we'll wait and see. Pamazoon sending it forward. Here's Kovalich, number 8. Getting by Clavijo. On the turn, Sherbakov on the run. Great effort by Michallik. And Sherbakov as well for staying in there with Pohitko. And then Armstrong, it goes out of play. And let's see if the referee will acknowledge the substitution. He will. Kovalich may not have much left here. And Rebro, Sергija Rebbrov, number 14, will get ready to check into the lineup. Kovalich will come out. Good effort today by Serhii Kovalich, who plays for the Kiev team. Dynamo Kiev, we called it at one time in the Soviet Union. Dynamo is, I guess, the Ukrainian pronunciation.
As opposed to the Russian.
Yes. And Dynamo for us Americans, right, for years. Coming back on the right side, Quinn. Good run by Murray to take it into the area, but there's Pamazoon. Murray almost created a great chance from the good run in the right wing.
Murray doing a good job of the overlapping run. The ball's left by Kinnear. There's Murray turning on the Jets. He looks up to see where the positions the players are taking for a near post run, but he served it much too close to the goalkeeper, Pamazoon.
Gone some 32 plus minutes here in the second half of play. So better than 12 minutes remaining. Unofficial time. Still looking for the first goal of the match. Again, no overtime in our World Series of Soccer matches. Onside is Hetsko, along with Rebro. Hetsko, upender! And it just went too high over Meola. I'll tell you, that was looking like a 1-0. They're setting up the wall. We've got Murray, who's getting ready to come out. Sorber's ready to check in, but not right now. They don't want to do that. This is made for Murray with Balboa. This time Marcelo with a right footer, and that is way wide of Pamazoon. And you may see that substitution now of Sorber for Bruce Murray if they can get the referee Caulfield's attention. There's Mike Sorber from the University of St. Louis, where he'll be a senior this year. His dad has to be very proud of him. Pete Sorber from Florissant Valley Community College, a perennial junior college power in the St. Louis area. And I'm sure Pete's watching this game. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Bruce Murray coming out. Great effort, though, for Bruce Murray to be able to stretch those hamstrings. He's had a rough year, and the fact that he played this long really gave him a good test, and Sorber comes in. So we'll see what Mike Sorber can do. There are fresh legs on his part. Not much time remaining. A little bit better than 10 minutes to go. Pamazoon, the goalkeeper, will watch what he sees from Balboa.
And that's really symbolic of a lot of the long-range shooting today. Going high, not on target. The high grass may have a bit to do it, but it's a very smooth surface, so they should have adjusted to it by now.
Vatamanyuk comes in. Moroz goes off, number 6. So Yaroslav Vatamanyuk wearing number 13. So some fresh legs as well for the Ukraine side. Serbakov is down on the field, and the referee Caulfield calling some attention. He may have gotten kicked in the head.
Serbakov has been an exciting player today. He's always been a threat in the counterattack. He's in obvious pain here.
A time right now, while he gets a little break, to take a look at our American Airlines Something Special in the Air Play of the Game. Brought to you, of course, by American Airlines.
This may have been the most important game because Ed Sherbakov, the guy who's down now, had a golden opportunity that at the last minute was stifled by John Doyle. Meola was there too, backing him up. It would have been a tough save, and Doyle really saved the day.
And American Airlines, the official airline of the U.S. Soccer and the U.S. World Cup team, congratulates Tony Meola and John Doyle for their effort for a play that is truly something special in the air. Take 2 aspirins, Mr. Sherbakov, and call the doctor in the morning.
This is where he gets a little bit of the elbow as Quinn gets up real early. He comes down with the elbow, and that's called taking up a good position and making it count. It's also illegal.
I got to think after you've played 80 minutes plus, it hurts more than if it happens in the first 5 minutes of the game too. Sherbakov still kind of holding on to the head a little bit. Action continues near midfield.
He got clocked.
Clavijo. Is that a soccer term? I guess that's universal. He got clocked. Here's Michallik.
What time it is?
Kinnear. Broken up from behind by Rebbrov. Chung. Holding. Played it behind Kinnear. Off the referee. And now a dangerous play. Let's see. The U.S. will get the ball. Ukraine nothing, the U.S. nothing. 7:35 remaining unofficially. Second half of play. Brian Quinn over the ball. A lot of room for Kinnear. Kinnear lifting into the area, headed by Masters behind one player. And now controlled by the Ukraine. Chung trying to put some pressure on. Kinnear will get it. Mike Sorber. His first touch of the ball for Chung. Sends it in low, intended for Masters. Simbalar running out of room. Sorber and Chung trying to force a corner. And the linesman really has to be awake on that side. It's going the other way. A crowded corner, to say the least.
Crowded by 3 U.S. players who have all come on as subs. Masters, Chung, and Sorber. Trying to create something in the attack there. And to my mind, they've not really utilized Masters the way he should be utilized. They've got to get the ball up into the box a bit more often to really take advantage of his heading ability.
As I recall, maybe only once in the second half have they put it in the air near him. Doyle. Of course, he hasn't worked out with him all that long either. He's a heck of a target to look at, but he has not been a regular training member of this squad, just coming in recently to work with his team and get a look-see. He has been a proven goal scorer in the American Professional Soccer League. This year, San Francisco was his team. Last year, it was Albany. Far side of the field is where the Ukrainian squad will line up for Nikiforov. In a space, Tritiak pushing to get free. Tritiak on the double team. Armstrong makes the play for number 3, Doyle. Left side, Michallik. U.S. giving it a good effort on the run, trying to push forward, and Michallik stumbled over the ball. Now the Ukraine squad comes back. Let's see what they do. Will they push forward? They've got some fresh legs in Rebbrova out there. And Vatamanyuk. Left side, that's Rebbrova, but there was an offside, I thought. Linesman did too. I'm not sure if that's because they were hesitating, whether they thought they should go forward or not.
close call there as Clavijo nearly ruined the trap.
Time for today's Snickers Bar World Series of Soccer Most Valuable Players. And first off for the Ukrainian squad, there's number 5, Nikiforov, who we think played a nice game both at the back and when he advanced forward.
For a big man, very confident on the ball, even when he moved into that midfield position.
Speaking of big men, for the U.S. squad, John Doyle gets the award. Congratulations to both players. Snickers Bar official snack of the United States World Cup soccer team will make a charitable donation of $1,000 on behalf of these two players to youth soccer in the United States, Nikiforov and Doyle. And again, another great performance by John Doyle. Here's Brian Quinn. Down to about 4.5 minutes. Again, it's unofficial time here at Ratgers. Scoreless. Balboa, number 17, right side. A chance on the cross. Kinnear and Masters were there, but the ball doesn't get near enough. Nice attempt. Sherbakov, who, by the way, probably finished second, right, to Nikiforov in our Snickers balloting. He's had a great game, too.
Anytime he's breaking, it's a danger.
Here's Brian Quinn.
A young player who has potential. As we mentioned, Sherbakov examining offers from the Dutch First Division.
Here's Desmond Armstrong, now to number 9, Mark Chung. Got it off a block. Mark Chung sweeping wide right side. A chance on the cross. Was behind Kinnear. Coming through Brian Quinn. Juggling. Leaving it. The turnaround by Balboa is blocked. Quinn may have taken an elbow in the face area. Great effort. Brian Quinn unselfishly gave it up. I thought he might try to dribble through and shoot.
I think he wanted to, and Balboa took it off of him.
Maybe you're right.
Hit the cross by Sorber, and it has a good bend to it. It doesn't find a white shirt, and now Quinn is all over this ball, trying to force his way into the box, and he was about to hit it with his right foot. Balboa on the turn hits it. It did hit an arm in there, but I don't believe intentionally. You see Balboa claiming, trying to get a free kick. There's the serve from Sorber from a different angle. Not a great clearance, so Quinn is able to follow up then and really go right at the heart of the Ukraine defense. There was some good ball work, and there's a bouncing ball, and I think at first Balboa may have been trying to stop it for him to hit it, and it was just enough, the timing was just enough off, and then Balboa had to turn and try and take the shot.
You read that well, though, because you could tell that Quinn was ready to tee it up. When you do all that work and now you get a little momentum going, your next step is to crack it.
He had pushed it a little bit too far, and Balboa was trying to do him a favor, I think, and set it for him, and it didn't work out, so then Balboa had to be the one to take it.
Doyle looking to create something for Brian Quinn. Coming back the other way. Here's the man, Sherbakov breaking into the area of the shot. I thought Meola got a piece. And if they call it a goal kick, then I'm wrong. He missed it, and they're calling it goal kick.
And if he'd have put it in, we'd have had to change the start of the game.
Yeah, well, let's recall the Snickers award if he breaks in. That's what I was thinking.
There's Sorber trying to touch the ball into Doyle. Doyle working the ball across the back of the defense, puts the ball a little bit too far in front of Quinn, and now here's Sherbakov with that great speed and balance as he was able to ride off one tackle by Clavijo. He's all the way through. Meola takes up a good position, cuts the angle, and this one just misses by inches.
Good challenge by Meola. And it would have been ironic if we wanted to change our Snickers guy, because the guy that gave it up was John Doyle. Uncharacteristic for him.
Sherbakov bursting through with his acceleration and having the best chance all day for the Ukraine team, and seeing it just angle slightly wide. This is more of Meola's look at it, and what I liked about Sherbakov is when he saw that opportunity, he went for it, no hesitation, used his explosive acceleration, and was able to ride that tackle by Clavijo, keep his balance, and come all the way in.
There's the time up in your upper portion of your screen. Here's Quinn looking for Masters, and it's broken up. Out to 15, Desmond Armstrong. Time remaining about a minute and a half, but we may have some injury time to add on. They stopped the clock here with 2 minutes to go. There's Hugo Perez, not playing today. He told us earlier because of an insurance problem, but they hope to get that straightened out. But what a player Perez is. He's the 3rd all-time leading scorer for the U.S. national team. But in his absence, Kinnear has really elevated his game, taken on some of the Perez responsibility.
Kinnear's done well for himself. I think the main lack that the U.S. team has had by not having Perez perhaps is some of those free kicks that they had, especially in the first half. Quite a lot of them out near the top of the box. I think he could have done better than what was done.
I agree. Chung's last pass was picked off. Unfortunate for the U.S., they had some guys breaking forward. Here's Armstrong, 15. Out to Mike Sorber, number 16 and wide. Sorber lifting it, left wing. 2 U.S. players converge on it. It's Michallik. Michallik, who's done well on the crosses, fires one up for Masters. And there, making the nice play is Pamazoon.
If that ball is curled just another 4 to 5 yards out, more near the 12 there, it's a real problem because of Masters' strength in the air. But that one, only about 6 yards out. Pamazoon able to come on, do quite well to get up and collect it.
As you saw at the upper portion of your screen, we are now into injury time by a few seconds. Pamazoon now to Tretiak. A 0-0 game. All of the stats will show the U.S. had the big edge in a lot of the offensive categories, and even in ball possession, which we can't tell you. They had a great effort here this afternoon, but it may go unrewarded in terms of a victory. May have to settle for the tie. Sorber for Rebrova. And Balboa. Rebrova took it. They got to call that foul, and they do.
Both teams really lacking in their shooting ability. In fact, a few of those ones in the first half, we used to call the Phantom player Mezzanino because they were going up and away, nowhere near the target.
There's Marcelo Balboa heading upfield as Clavijo passes to Kinnear. Now Quinn looking the other way. Right side. And a foul is going to be called for. Our Sports Channel Ohio viewers, we will be sending you to Cleveland Stadium where John Sanders and Rick Manning are standing by with Cleveland Indians baseball. Dominic Kinnear getting ready now for this restart. About 30 or so yards away from goal. No Murray out there who's very dangerous in these situations, although not today. But Quinn out there with Kinnear. We'll see what happens.
Murray probably hit the best one that was hit today.
Here's Kinnear. Sending it in low. Headed down by Balboa and just wide, but a great effort to find Balboa by Kinnear. That could have been a great one in injury time, no less.
That was well coordinated and timed.
That's it. Michael Caulfield, the referee, says
this was the final chance. The ball curled in by Kinnear. Balboa's onto it, but he puts it wide with the head at the near post.
Ty, that would have been about 5 seconds from the final whistle, and it would have been Balboa from Kinnear, but instead it is a 0-0 tie the way it ends up. And again, the shots on goal, etc., will show that the U.S. had the edge in this one, but it won't go that way. The World Series of Soccer match ends in a scoreless tie between the national team of the Ukraine and the U.S. World Cup team.